Uh, the latest that we are going to tell you what is going to happen in terms of where the auction stands at the moment. I'll switch it like this, don't worry. That is what we're supposed to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so as things stand right now, everyone who is complaining that, oh, Mumbai is sleeping, this is not making a team, what is happening? What does that tell you? There was a strategy in place, okay? So our strategy was in place because their scouting system, and we had been saying this for some time, their scouting system is so good that they knew which are the players they're going to be bidding at. Okay, before, with me are some really sharp cricket experts. Siddhant is on my left and on my right is Arun, and this newfound love in terms of cricket analysis is of Saran. She's come so nicely dressed also for our auction. So they will tell you about these unknown guys. As you can see in your title, we've mentioned Romario, Shephard, Yash, Dayal, Tim, David. Some of you might know about them, but what are the details? We'll try and get these gentlemen to answer. But let me tell you where the auction is at the moment. This will help you understand where the auction is. So all players have gone under the hammer once, and I'm saying only players that the teams wanted. Teams were asked yesterday, send us a list of players that you want, and then we'll put them in the auction. So they sent a list. So that list is finished for once. That is done. Now whoever comes will not be the ones that may have been remaining for the list, could be actually the ones remaining from the list, or the ones that have gone unsold. So from the unsold players list, each team has been asked to pick 4 or 5 players. Between 4 or 5 players, every team now, that is 10 teams, will write 4 or 5 players that they now want to buy and submit that list to the auctioneer. Then those names will come. Now what can happen here? 2 things can happen. Firstly, some teams may be done. I'm seeing some teams have already got over 18, 19. So some teams might not be interested. They'll actually say, no, we are done. They may be interested with 1 name. So they'll just put in 1 name. Someone might put 2 names. So this is what is going to happen. You're going to set your... Now people may think, okay, if everyone sends 4 or 5, let's assume 5, does that mean 50 names? No, 50 would probably be the maximum names that go. Those names could be overlapping also. So if he's one team, he sends 5 names, I send 5, 2 are common, so then they remain the same, in which case the list will be short. Now, so this will be a short list that will go under the hammer, but this will be the second part of the accelerated auction. After those players that come, once again, if they again go unsold, and if still some team thinks that no, they want to go back, if they think they want to go back, even if it's 1 team, even if it's 2 team, then there'll be a third accelerated process. It is possible that after the second, all teams say, no, we are done, we don't want to go, then it doesn't happen. But even if 1 team says, you'll have a third accelerated auction, which means we could still go on till 9 o'clock or close to 8:30, possible. Or
I hope we don't.
Arun isn't happy with that.
none of us are happy. We've been working extra hard. So we are just hoping that eventually what happens is in this second accelerated auctions, teams are done and then it'll all be sorted. So somebody is saying Shrishant. If Shrishant's name has not come up, that means no team asked for it. And remember, this question was asked to us many times, and I had said that I find it very, very difficult any team is going to be bidding. There were multiple reasons. Please go and check out our previous videos. Hardeep is asking, Shrishant ka naam kyun nahi aaya? Hardeep, Shrishant ka naam isliye nahi aaya because today all the names that came up were a list drawn by all the teams. They were asked which are the players that you want in the auction. If there is a player you don't want to bid, don't give his name. So these are the names that the teams sent. Now you will say, still, if team sent the name, why did they go unsold? That is because team also give multiple option. If they're looking for a wicket keeper, Indian wicket keeper, they'll send 4 or 5 options because they don't know if one will go for how much, second will go for, if they will not get their first choice, there'll be a second choice, there'll be a third choice. So each team has sent. Even if one team has suggested your name, it'll go into the auction. If Shrishant's name has not come, it just tells you that at the moment, no team wanted a Shrishant, okay? We're getting a lot of comments. Manish Ahuja says Mumbai Indian batting is looking weak as of now. We'll talk about each team. Arav says Gautam Gambhir is the best brain for an auction. I agree with you, Arav. That is why Lucknow team is looking very, very good. We'll take a look at that, okay? Now, Sai Srivastav says Shephard a good buy, and that leads me into the next part of discussion. As I said, we have 2 experts who watch a lot of cricket, a lot of franchise cricket. So let's start with Romario Shephard. How is it that he goes for the price that he has?
7.75 crores.
Siddhant, take it away. Tell us. Romario Shephard, tell us about him.
See, Romario Shephard has been a valuable player for the West Indies for the past 1 year or so. He's played around 10 ODIs for them, and more often than not, he is part of the T20 international side these days. He played that entire series against England, the 5-match series that recently happened. He's still part of the squad against India, and you expected him to fetch a huge price because of what he brings to the table. Even for the West Indies, he bowls at the death, by the way. He bowls 2 overs at the death, 1 over in the middle over somewhere. Usually because they have so many all-rounders, apart from Jason Holder or somebody like Sheldon Cottrell, usually none of the other bowlers finish their quota of 4 overs. Sometimes Akeal Hussain does as well. But Romario Shepherd usually ends up bowling 3 overs for West Indies, and he ends up more often than not taking 1 or 2 wickets. I saw him take 2 wickets, 3 wickets against the England. That is one thing. But more than that, the value he adds as a batsman lower down the order. You see, like for a player of Shardul Thakur capability, the way he also bats down the order, right? He comes out all guns blazing, can smack the ball all over the park, can get those sixes. So there's this one innings I was specifically talking about in our earlier session where Romario Shepherd hit 5 sixes. Okay, against England, and even though West Indies lost the game by 1 run, at one point it looked like they'll lose the game by 60, 70 odd runs. So that's sort of an innings. If a guy can play, he definitely deserves that sort of an amount. That's what the franchise must be thinking.
Romario Shepherd.
Basically, Sunrisers Hyderabad needed Jason Holder's replacement, but they wanted an all-rounder who can do more with the bat than with the ball. And I guess Shepherd is a best pick. I was going to mention that particular over that they needed 30 or 30.
They needed 32 runs if I'm not
32
wrong,
runs, yes.
and they hit 5 sixes.
Wow.
Something like that happened.
What else do you need to know?
Something like that happened.
So now you know, you heard from the 2 experts, why is it that Romario Shepherd has gone for that much amount?
At one point of time, Kolkata and Hyderabad were in a very tough war for Romario Shepherd.
Yes.
They were going guns for him.
One second. Talking about Kolkata, you were saying Martin Guptill.
You were saying Martin Guptill will be most expensive. Tell our viewers, don't look at us.
I am actually disappointed because I still think that they need an opening batsman. Rahul Bhai was saying that they will open with Venkatesh Iyer and Sunil Narine, but I think a proper opening batsman.
No, Ajinkya Rahane.
But I was saying
He's open for Rajasthan Royals, if you remember.
It's not like that. I just want a foreign.
He's not happy with Rahane as the opener. He's like,
I thought
why Rahane?
they will
That's
go for
the reaction
maybe
you get from him.
Tim Seifert,
Huh?
Chris Lynn, Martin Guptill.
Chris
Any one of them.
How can you even talk about Chris Lynn now? He's been woefully out of form.
But
for Brisbane Heat, I think so. In one game, he scored a 50 out of those 14 games they played in the Big Bash League. Apart from that, he did not do anything at all. And Brisbane Heat were extremely poor. It was because of the other batsmen in their side that they could score whatever runs they could. Because Chris Lynn did not provide any good starts.
I was talking in context of Indian Premier League. He was not given enough chances in the last season when he was with Mumbai. So
That's
I
okay.
thought KKR
See,
might go.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, Saransh. I'll tell you why. You're not the only one who gets auction predictions wrong. Nobody knows what is going to happen in auction.
Yeah.
Okay? Everyone gets auction.
Forwards, Rassie van der Dussen.
Rassi
Not me.
How is it?
Right now. He went unsold, right?
No, but I thought he'll
now-
be sold. I did not think he'll fetch a huge price or anything, but I thought maybe Mumbai, because they wanted a middle order batsman. They were missing a middle order batsman. They have gone for a lot of domestic players. Mumbai again. A lot of us also were searching through Google. Which player is this guy? Where is he from?
Domestic players in this last round. Now, what I'm saying is, as of now, KKR is the richest team with 8.85 crores left in their purse. They have 18 players out of 25.
Temporarily the richest team.
Temporarily, obviously. Now, what I was thinking, they should have gone for that foreign player, maybe a big foreign player. But
I was very disappointed when Ben McDermott went also.
Yeah. The best player in the BBL, best player in the Big Bash League goes unsold.
Just because its base price was 50 lakh, you could have kept him as a backup opener, if not your frontline opener.
Also wicket keeper.
Yeah, utility player.
Sorry, does Gujarat have a wicket keeper for now? Because they didn't yesterday. Who have they got? No, they don't. They don't. Darshan Nalkande, I am not too aware of him. Is he a wicket keeper?
All rounder, all.
He's a bowler. So Pradeep, yeah, they don't have
I'm a
a.
little surprised with Darshan Nalkande. If I'm not wrong, his action came out when BCI releases the list of bowlers they are watching for the suspect bowling action. Darshan Nalkande is part of that list. Even Vicky Ostwal, the under-19 bowler, who was not picked up by any franchisee, he's also part of that list.
Interesting insight. But
Maybe
they've picked him.
McDermott comes back.
No, I think.
They're waiting for that last round of auction where the unsold players, so that they
Now
might
they'll
go,
come back.
They might go to Sam Billings or
Yes.
for that fact Matthew Wade.
Yes, I think you're right. So that is what I was getting to. Matthew Wade, Sam Billings, all these wicket-keeper batsmen are going to come back. I think Gujarat will now see how much money is left with Gujarat at the moment, if you can tell.
8.65 CR.
Next to Kolkata 8.85.
They can even pick
See,
Suresh and our top order batsman.
But they
Yeah.
still have a lot of wicket keepers. Still very.
Gujarat doesn't have a wicket-keeper they have to go for. I have a super chat. Our good friend Robin Hazra, who's a regular watcher, is here with a super chat. He
Thank
says, Yash Dhul went for less than Bawa. Do you think this is because he doesn't bowl and low strike rate? Ashwin and Butler will just do good together. They have released a video sharing goodies for each other. Yes, we've seen that Ashwin and Butler video. Not only them, I think Deepak Hooda and Krunal Pandya will also do well together. They are also in one team. They also have a bit of a history. So that will be sorted out now that the teams have picked. But Yash Dhul, yes, I think, in fact, if you saw our previous programming, if you were when we were asked who is that one under 19 player who will go for the maximum, I had picked Raj Bawa, and I think most of us
would have picked Raj Bawa because of his hitting capability also. He can smack the ball hard. He can score those quick runs. Yash Dhul's strike rate, of course, is a hindrance because even during the under-19 World Cup, he played a good innings against Australia, but it was not, a blazing sort of knock that you expect from somebody like a Raj Bawa because he can do it.
Okay, now I want you guys to tell me again, the experts to step in. Yash Dayal, we know about Yash Dhul. Tell us about Yash Dayal. Everyone wants to know. Give us some insight. 3.2 crores. Gujarat Titans have paid for it.
Actually, we also had to search a lot to know about Yash Dayal.
He's a UP
guy.
guy. And by the way, in Vijay Hazare Trophy this year, he took 14 wickets in 7 games. So, of course, got noticed. And then did not play all the games, I guess, in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. But 2 or 3 games that he played, he impressed a lot of people. So definitely got more eyeballs than we were thinking. Picked up for 3.2 crores, if I'm not wrong.
In this auction, this IPL auction, franchisees are investing in their future.
You made a point yesterday. It's a valid
was
point.
saying this,
I will actually say I was the one who was saying that what is future in IPL because that was the past.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I kept saying who's going to look at future. Chennai has shown that get senior players, win this season, think about the next season, and they've moved from Watson, they'll move to Faf, they'll move away from Faf for one season and win. But you're right, this time I have seen the top buys, and that's been a trend. I was making a list. All of you must also see. Even though I did not agree that youth plays an important role because nobody looks at a future in the IPL, this time it's true that has happened. Future they have paid attention to. Well done, Saransh.
Yeah, I told you yesterday because and this
Your predictions of player going for auction may be wrong, but this one was.
but also in the last round, teams like Mumbai Indians is famous for their picking up some very young players and nurturing them for. But teams like CSK, I've seen KKR going for those young players, those players who were
For KKR, I guess they should have gone for Kennard Lewis. Decent
Who's
batter,
that?
West Indies batter, Kennard Lewis.
Kennard
He
Lewis.
batted with Moeen Ali in T10 and they were just...
But I'll tell you about.
He was similar to what London Simmons used to do. When he was,
he's also a
at his
wicket keeper,
best.
by the way. He
Yes.
can keep wickets.
Gujarat,
But
take note.
I'll tell you what's gone wrong.
Gujarat, are they listening?
What's gone? No. But I'm telling. I would not be picking Kennard Lewis, is what I'm saying. I'll tell you why. Because Kennard Lewis is playing in the Bangladesh Premier League right now, by the way, and hasn't done anything at all.
Oh, that may be the reason.
Very, very poor returns in terms of runs scored, and he's opening the batting. So why would you pick somebody who's not performing?
So recent form is the reason.
Yeah, definitely.
Then why didn't they pick Ben McDermott? What is the reason? Still remains a mystery for me.
playing conditions might be a reason.
Okay, there is
you play in Australia and now you play when you're playing in India. Then that might be a reason they don't want to.
Few
invest.
questions. I'll answer one and then I'll get you guys to answer as well. There is one by Aman Verma. He's asking Anuj Rawat 3.2 crore for RCB. Please tell about that. Okay, so Anuj Rawat, I'd heard about him from domestic players as well. He plays for Delhi, so highly rated on that front. But I agree, 3.2 was a bit of a surprise for me. But I'll tell you a bit of a connection why he could have gone for RCB. He comes from the same cricket academy as Virat Kohli, and Virat Kohli, of course, may not be captain, but he's the main.
Still a think tank.
Yeah, think tank.
Absolutely. He's contributed as far as team is being made. So, and I'm not saying this is any, bhai bhatija type thing, ki, oh, my friend. No. Sometimes what happens, you hear about certain players from your academy guys or
And then
whatever, and there is an impression, and it happens with every team. You will see some team, one of their scout maybe from one area, he must have seen one player play more than the other. So he's picked up the phone and said more. So it happens, and that is the only connection, Aman, that I can see. So
they also
that is
a
one.
wicket keeper batter.
Yes.
They can't always go with Dinesh Karthik. If he's not in form, they need a.
They have another option now, by the way. Apart from these two, apart from Anuj Rawat and apart from Dinesh Karthik, they've got Finn Allen. They've got Finn Allen.
About that. Yeah,
Finn Allen, also they got him very cheap. I did not think he'll get a big price any which way. But 80 lakhs for somebody who was the highest scorer last year in the Super Smash, the T20 tournament in New Zealand. That is what got him into the New Zealand side as well, by the way. Hasn't done that well this season, but certain times when you have seen somebody perform so well over a certain period, because he did well for New Zealand also. Then Devon Conway came out and then he became their main scorer. So I feel Finn Allen could be the third backup as an option, just in case if they need somebody to open the innings also, because he is an opener.
Okay. Devon Conway, do you think it's a
Steal deal. Hands down steal deal.
You were telling me upwards as well. It's a steal.
But I apart from his double 100 he got in his test debut, was it in England?
Lords.
After that he didn't do much.
Just because he's a wicket-keeper batter. That is the main reason.
Also, you guys forget that he still did a good job in the T20 World Cup. He has he has played 11, 12 T20s for New Zealand. He is the highest run scorer among those 12. No, some of them are outside New Zealand also. World T20 was entirely outside New Zealand. They played a few in England also. So I am telling you, Devon Conway has been performing.
In the semi-final, it
for
was
1 crore. He went for 1 crore.
His partnership with
Darryl Mitchell.
With Darryl Mitchell got them back on the track.
Actually, it was him who was doing most of the scoring, while Darryl Mitchell was taking those singles to get him on strike.
And this happened
then
when
he got run out.
When he batted in the middle order.
Yeah.
Not even opening.
So by the way,
order.
Devon Conway is usually either an opener or he bats number 3. For New Zealand, they were putting him in the middle order. So I believe for 1 crore, they got a sweet deal.
Okay. Next, let's turn our attention to the other big crorepati, Tim David. What was his price? 8.25. 8.25 crore.
Expected.
So he was with RCB. Now he's gone to Mumbai Indians. If Mumbai Indians have thought about him, they must have done their due diligence. But whatever I know of him, born in Singapore, 6 feet 5 inches tall, is a big hitter. He played one game for RCB. I remember that one game where he failed. Very cheap. He tried to whack the ball and got caught. I still remember the dismissal because he was really played up. So for now, this much money based on that one game, what could be the thought process that Mumbai Indians, or where have they seen him
I
do?
don't think they paid this much for that one innings. They paid this much for what he has been doing in franchise cricket.
What is it he's been doing?
You can use him as a floater. You can use him anywhere, whether you want to use him in power play, death overs, middle overs, wherever. He gives you runs, and consistently.
See, the thing with Tim David, a lot of people see it. People see it happening. Even if you've lost 3 wickets, the same thing about Sherford and Rutherford for that matter. Both of these cricketers are highly underrated for me, because what they do is, even if you've lost 3 wickets, when they come out, they don't go and play those tuk-tuk cricket, like those tuk-tuk shots. Like they won't take time to score runs. If they are at the crease, they will score at a very quick pace. And more often than not, they have done that. For Hobart Hurricanes, Tim David has done an exceptional job. Okay, that is one.
I guess this is what impressed Virat Kohli. that he doesn't doesn't go sideways when there are 2 or 3 wickets down. He does his job. He plays his natural game. That's what Kohli likes.
He plays his natural game. Even this season, I remember whenever he used to come out, he would score that 40 odd runs of one game. He scored 43 runs, if I'm not wrong, of the 11 balls or something. He just came out and smashed everything. And it's not like he smashes fours. He smashes those big hits. And because of that, he's going to T20 leagues all around the world. Currently, he's playing in the PSL, where in the last 2-3 games, if I'm not wrong, he scored 73, 74 runs in one game of 30, 40 odd balls.
So that's the current form is the reason that he has gone. And KKR was very interested.
Everybody would be, because
KKR and DC opened the bat and they were going like.
Ash was so sad when he went to.
No, but they had 10 crores left. But they had 10 crores left, and they were going for almost 8 crores
I'm still saying
for Tim
KKR
David.
was weak on paper as of now. KKR cannot.
But Tim David for me is a great buy, because he, by the way, also bowls handy off
They should
spin.
at least have a genuine opener in this.
That's what I'm saying.
Kritik is saying, can Van der Dusen find a buy? I still think they can. He may will come back. Somebody should pick him. Too good a white ball batsman. There was a question by Sai Kiran. He's saying, after VVS Lakshman, and he mentioned a few, next Hyderabadi, I'm forgetting his question here that had come, and he was talking about the new player that has been picked up. Yeah, Tilak Verma. Yeah, he was saying that after VVS and few other guys, he's going to be the next Hyderabadi to play for India. I don't know whether he will play for India or not, but had an outstanding domestic season. Syed Mushtaq Ali, I think his strike rate was 200 plus.
At around 30 average. That's good.
His strike rate was around 150.
150,
He
wow.
scored 300 odd runs, no?
215, 20 runs, something like that. 300 runs in Syed Mushtaq Ali. Somebody must be batting out of their skins to get that many, and they have to go to the final then, I guess. Because Hyderabad, his strike rate overall in T20s, by the way, is above 140. And if somebody is averaging 30, 40 odd runs with that kind of strike rate, you will definitely pick him in your side. So Tilak Verma, even though we haven't seen a lot of him, he has played the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy really well, got those runs there. But now the real test will be if he goes out there for his IPL franchise.
I'm happy that in this auctions, all teams have combinedly invested much in the local talent, domestic players. They have picked very large number of domestic players.
What do you make of Jofra Archer? He's not going to play this coming season, but he will play the season after that. So that is, people were thinking, who is it that Mumbai Indians saving the money for? You got your answer. 8 crore for Jofra Archer. He put
talking about how Mumbai will go for Archer, because it'll be the most lethal bowling combination in IPL.
That's what I wanted to ask. You saw Jofra Archer's tweet. He put 2 big eyes. That's it. Like, wow. Even he's shocked. Now, Jasprit Bumrah and Jofra Archer bowling together. I don't want to be the batsman.
8 overs of sheer destructiveness in terms of bowling. You don't know how, like Bumrah with those Yorkers, Jofra Archer with those short deliveries. They are gonna make batsman's life miserable.
If these two bowl at that Narendra Modi Stadium, I don't know what the batters will do.
Deadly duo.
That bounce
and Yorkers.
Bounce and Yorkers. For me, Bumrah best in terms of Yorkers in the world. Jofra Archer with his short length deliveries, like everything that rises with Jofra Archer's height, it's unplayable at times. So I feel England, because he's not been there, they've been missing him badly. But the moment he returns, again, Mumbai Indians, even though they did not spend money on a lot of players that we thought they would, one player, great pick. 8 crores for Jofra Archer, I feel, is definitely worth it.
We keep patting ourselves on the back when we say, oh, we said this and that has happened. We said this and this has happened.
Also.
That's what I'm saying. So now even Alzari Joseph, Mumbai Indians 100% will. But no, Gujarat has taken it. I think at 2.4 crore for a guy who got Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma out in 1 over, not once, twice in 3 1-days. Deserves to go for more than this. What do you think?
And he has best bowling figures for in IPL, I guess. 6 for 12 or 13? 12. For Mumbai Indians.
For against Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Now Gujarat is taking.
Yeah.
That looks strong.
Also, I realized when you're
Nehra ji is doing a
towards
good
the
job.
end, yeah.
Nehra ji has forgotten about a wicket keeper.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit.
Nehra a wicket
He'll
keeper
be like,
needed by your team.
wicket keeper भूल गया यार.
अरे कोई बात नहीं ले आएंगे
ले लेंगे.
ले आएंगे.
But-
I'm still saying that KKR needs to wake
Oh,
up.
KKR
They need
fanboy.
to-
he
if you are
thinks-
listening to me, you need to wake up, buy a big opener or and also a wicket keeper, a foreign player, a wicket keeper, maybe Sam Billings, but you need to buy. Maybe they are waiting for that last round and because you have 8.85 crores left in your purse, 18 players out of 20.
They were willing to spend that much almost for Tim David and one or two other players when they had 10 crore budget.
But now they are
And
left.
I was like, they'll only be left with 2 crores. What are they doing?
Okay, so we had a question here. Amman Verma says, I think RCB bowlers are gun death bowlers. What are your thoughts? Did you see Hazelwood today? Today also he had an outstanding performance.
3 for 22 and then gave just 5 runs in the super over. Single-handedly.
There you go.
Josh is
So, and Josh had a great game, the earlier one as well, where he took 3 wickets there. Four.
wickets. He took four
His
wickets.
career best haul of 4 for 12 in the last game.
Last 2 matches,
Dhoni changes life.
Dhoni. That is why I have said, I want your opinion.
Some sort of form.
Shivam Dubey.
I'm saying Shivam Dubey, if that's the fast bowling all-rounder we are looking at, thank God he's gone to CSK under MS Dhoni. Maybe he can be
You
the
heard
fast
it
bowling.
First on Sports Today, Mark Nicklby's word.
Yes.
1 year or 6 months down the line, you will see.
2 years, not 2 years. He needs 2
down the line.
seasons under
Shivam
MS.
Dubey, you see Shivam
Makes
Dubey as
sense.
a player. Mark his word.
Deepak Chahar, he's made a player out
Deepak
of him.
Chahar to is
He made a player
even.
He made a player out.
He got a big payday out of it.
He made a player out of Mohit Sharma also. After he went to other franchises, then he.
Correct. For Chennai Super Kings
Or
and
Shardul Thakur.
also
under-
there are certain players who just once they start playing for Dhoni, they just there's some discovery level that goes parabolic in some sense because what they do after that, Shardul Thakur improved
The
so much.
only unfortunate
Deepak
one
Chahar-
has been Mitchell Santner. Because with Jadeja in the
No, but they
team,
got him back. See,
they don't play him enough.
See, the problem with I get Mitchell
he'll
Santner
get
won't
gold
play
like
games for
trophy, yeah.
CSK, but he's also a great utility player. And by the
You
way,
know what he did
by
in the
by
Super
way-
Smash final?
By the way, I'm that's what I was coming to. His batting,
Century.
his batting has improved so much that in the Super Smash, the T20
Unbeaten
tournament
113.
final, he was man of the match, scored 113 runs, unbeaten.
Mitchell
Santner.
Santner.
He was hitting sixes at will.
I know he's been going on and on about his Mitchell Santner.
Santner.
Once again, CSK has
The
gone.
moment Mitchell Santner was sold to CSK, you're like, what will they do with him? What will they do with him?
Robin, again, as usual, our regular, he sent another super chat. Robin, please, don't send super chat. Just send it on the side. We'll read it. He's saying, what a great job by Charu Sharma. And he was called by Brijesh Patel, who actually replaced him as CEO of RCB also. Charu, if you remember, was a CEO.
The first season.
I replaced you. I've got another job for you.
After the debacle where they finished 7th, Charu Sharma was removed. A lot of other people were removed.
Just put on some clothes and come. That was the message.
Yeah, he said, where are you? He
As
said,
soon as possible.
Charu Sharma said, I'm at home. He's like, your house is 10-15 minutes away. Just come quickly
put on some clothes
and do the IPL auction for us.
So he said, Robin has said, get him for an interview. Yes, I know him very well, so I'll call him. If he is keen to do an interview, we'll get him on Sports Today. And get him to answer a few questions of
We
you
also
guys
had
as well.
Deepak Chahar's exclusive interview
Yes,
coming down
as-
the line on Sports Today.
When I thought it should have been.
No, I have offered it for TV.
So how does it matter? This is different. This could have been uploaded here also.
Many lack of time. Sort of, I was running
It will
short
be
of time.
available.
You were running short.
And there is some
I
talk
thought
about.
he held back.
No, I was running out of time. So
And
I
there
thought
is-
he's held it back. No.
on Sports Today after this chat they'll get to know and
Gotcha.
also,
And there is some talk about a movie Deepak Chahar wants to make. So do watch that interview.
Rahul Vasudev watching us from Australia. Might it must be very, very late there, isn't it? It must be about 11 o'clock. Not very late. You can have your.
yesterday he was with us after
Night
that
soup.
post auction chat.
hours, right? 5.5 hours.
So that's having 11
So
something.
12:30 a.m. it must be.
11:30. Yeah, 12:30. Correct. So he says SRH is surprisingly looking good. Why are you saying surprisingly?
They don't. For
I'll say this for RCB.
no, but I want to say
Surprisingly looking very good.
I still want to say Puran for 10.75 crores, boss.
That's not surprisingly looking good. Yeah, come on. But yeah, he's right. Karthik Tyagi, Natarajan, Umran Malik, Shepherd now, Washington Sundar, yeah, Makram, Kane Williamson,
Sean Abbott.
Tripathi, Rahul Tripathi, yeah, Samad. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, I know Rahul, you're an SRH fan. I remember from your.
Marco Jansen as well.
Interesting question. Now, who will bowl the super over from Mumbai? Will it be Archer or Bumrah?
Just wait.
Bumrah, 101% Bumrah.
I love Archer,
Bumrah trumps everyone.
but just wait.
No, also I think so. He's been with the franchisee for so long, and the ability, they believe in it because he always does it for Mumbai Indians. So that's why they'll definitely go for him first.
Yeah.
Always first pick over anybody else.
And RCB have got Rohit Sharma's nemesis. Who?
How many left armers are we talking about?
Jason Behrendorff only.
Manoj Jain wants us to analyze the Rajasthan team. He's saying, what are they doing? They're so short on players. I think the minimum players right now.
they have got, yeah.
So they've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 according to me.
14 players
I may have missed one. So 14 players still now. What's their budget looking like? They still have money.
8.60.
So that's a decent. So if they got 14, they will minimum need to get 4.
I think
they may go for 6.
Yeah, I think they'll have 2 or 3 picks from the unsold players.
Yeah, and they can get them at the base price, possible. So yeah, so expect
Suresh Raina.
Rajasthan to be very
CSK will be
busy
going
now
after Suresh Raina,
in the auction. Usually RR doesn't do bad. They may do bad when it comes to the tournament, but they don't do bad at auction.
At auction.
They're very smart that way. They're very smart with their
They've
buys. So,
got Bolt,
Not in the recent times, I would say.
Saini.
No, they got
Paying 16 crores for Morris didn't make sense.
See, I'll tell you why. At that time, na, it was a smaller auction. The entire team was done. Then you have so much money left. You just need to pick 2-3 players. You're like, so much money. We need an all-rounder. Let's go. So the all-rounder also got lucky. Had now he gone in this auction, same Rajasthan team, same time, he would have never picked. Because then your money is divided. In smaller auction, sometimes it happens that you end up paying faltu.
More for-
Faltu. Because again.
Demand and supply.
Correct.
So if you have younger ones at home, you can just send him.
So no Jofra.
Send him
By the way, I was to talk about Mumbai a little more. No Jofra Archer this time, but they'll have Timil Mills. Timil Mills will be their death bowler along with Jasprit Bumrah.
That is true. That is true. Sai Kiran is saying RR is the best. I'm shifting to RR now. He's saying.
No, for RR, the thing is, their top 4 are sorted, their bottom 4 are sorted.
He's a CSK fan. He's not liking the CSK team. He's shifting to RR. He's saying.
Why?
This is the best
No.
thing for IPL. If you don't like the team,
I'm switching.
Can't change the team. Change the team.
Abhijit Anand, is Devon Conway a good substitute for Faf?
Absolutely. I think Devon Conway is a great player. And he has shown time and again that he can perform in pressure situations. Done so well for New Zealand in the past 1.5-2 years. So I feel, looking at the future also, Devon Conway, he's by the way South African born himself. Yes. So Devon Conway for me is a great pick. Let's see whether he opens. You never know.
By the way, who is Gujarat's opener? Yeah, I still
Jason
can't
Roy
figure it out.
and Shubman Gill.
No backup.
They will. I think they might go for some unsold players.
I just wanted to take one question because this is something that I was also thinking about, and that comes from Abhishek Arunav. He says, "Sir, I know Jofra is a great pick, but still Jofra is unreliable as far as fitness is concerned, and he has missed more days injured than playing. So it's a bet. And who will bowl the super over? That we've already answered between." The two of them, we have gone with Jasprit Bumrah. Unanimously, we've all picked Jasprit Bumrah ahead of Jofra Archer. But I'll tell you what the point, and this is what I was thinking when he was sold. So you bought him now. So what does the rule say? The rules say he's not available for that season and he's injured, but you will not get a replacement. Because had the injury happened after the auction, then you could have got a replacement. But because it's not, so you're not going to get. Okay, I think this is what Mumbai thought about it. Fine. They want it for the season onward. What if he is not fit second season? What if he is not fit third season? I'm saying you've taken so much money out of this for that second season which is so far away. Yeah? Looking too much into the future.
See, one reason I can think of is what you said about Morris. If he goes into a mini auction and franchises have money to splurge,
Yes.
he may go for 12, 13, 14 crores.
Jofra.
For me, 8
But
crores.
yeah, fitness is an issue.
8 crores is less. Is a steal simply because if Archer was playing this season, he would have been the highest overseas buy this season. That is
I agree.
highest overseas buy for sure. Archer, what he brings to the table. By the way, let's not forget he can smash the ball lower down the order also.
He does that for RR.
He does that for England also.
Even after being unavailable for this season, Rajasthan and Mumbai were in a tough war for Jofra Archer.
Yeah,
And
imagine Rajasthan. They had 9 or 10 crores.
Gone.
Rajasthan had 9 or 10 crores at that point.
They were.
They still were going 7.75.
And they still have 14 players.
7.75 they wanted to spend on Jofra. Imagine that's the worth of a player, right? When you are willing to spend more than 2/3 of your amount on one single guy.
Okay, a lot of people, I explained this earlier, but I can see now many people asking what is going to be the auction like. And so I'll explain it one more time because newer people join us and the ones that were there, they've left. So where you are at the moment, that first time auction is done. All players, now not all 600 went under the hammer, only the ones that the franchises wanted went under the hammer. Now first process is done. Now teams are asked, please submit names of players that you want now who may have gotten unsold till now. Give us those names and we'll put them in the auction again. And it does happen previously also. I remember it used to happen. Now each team is asked to give 4 to 5 players. And you can also not send any player depending on you.
Even
Yeah.
for Rajasthan, 4 to 5 players.
Yes, you can only suggest 4 to 5 players. You're right. Only 4 to 5. But you're also hoping other teams will also be sending. But 4 to 5, let's say, we are 10 teams. 3 teams may think we are done. We don't want any more. They may not have to send. They can even leave the auction now and go home. Say tata, bye bye, go. But some, they may put 1, some may put 2. So just because 4 to 5 everyone is allowed doesn't mean 10 into 5, 50 players. No. Could be 50 players, but could be 20 also, 10 also. They will go under the hammer. And then after that, again, if there is a case that they think third time, they will ask the teams again. If you still have a few players from this, you again want to put them back, then they'll go again. But these are going to be players that have already gone under the hammer. So they return back. So unsold players, you are being asking, that is what happens for unsold players. They are going to come back into auction now, which is going to start. They have taken a break of half an hour, 40 minutes. So these unsold players are going to come back. And we may go on till 9 if it is a third round of auction. We are waiting for the second one to start, which will
He was supposed to start 15 minutes earlier, if I'm not wrong. He said a 15-minute break, but the break has gone. Indian Standard Time,
message-
whatever.
I think there could be overlap. There can be an overlap.
Yes.
In names.
Yes.
A message to Rajasthan Royals.
Name will come up twice.
Yeah.
Overlap means the name will still come up.
A message to Rajasthan Royals. Please pick your players and go home. Please. We don't want to stay here. Yeah. हाँ, wicket keeper. Where's the wicket keeper guy?
You also have to take
Nehra
a
ji, please pick a wicket keeper.
wicketkeeper.
And for KKR, you want to say something?
Please pick a opener and a foreign wicketkeeper. That's all I want to say to them. But I don't know what they will do. I still want. Maybe they can pick Matthew Wade.
Maybe.
What do you think?
No.
Matthew Wade to KKR?
No. Only.
No.
I just got distracted because Robin Hazra is such a regular viewer, and I told him, don't send super chats, so many super chats. We'll take your questions anyway. He said, Nikhil bhai, aaj please mujhe dil khol ke bhejne do, because he's going in for a retina refractive error surgery.
Good luck.
No, so Robin,
Wish you the best.
best wishes from Sports Today to you.
Yeah.
I hope your operation goes very, very well. The surgery goes very, very well. And you are back to watching us and joining us.
Once you are
Anurag
recovered,
also.
we'll connect.
Anurag is
Please do
another.
join us back once you have recovered. But
Once you recover.
please don't strain yourself, first of all. I hope everything will be fine, and please
No,
take
but he
care
can
of
still
yourself.
listen to us, right?
He can
Just
listen
say
to us, but
Sports Today.
I'm just saying that all should go well. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Once you are recovered, do join us back.
Anurag from Kathmandu also. Every time joins us. Anurag is also a regular viewer. Hi, Anurag. Okay. Somebody said, Shashank is sending you best wishes. So we are all a family. And through us, we are sending you messages. Best wishes, Robin. Shashank has said. Rupayan Guha says, will any team buy Steve Smith? Maybe. Maybe a team can look at buying Steve Smith. Thoughts? I'll just take
No,
You want him for KKR?
I don't want.
No, let's send him to KKR.
I don't think he'll be fit there because
They've already got Rahane, huh? Otherwise, it'll again become Delhi Capitals.
All again. But
He's making sense because Rahane and Smith do the same job, pretty much the same job. What that is to anchor the innings.
that will be a misfit, no? It will be Delhi Capitals.
For your earlier question, they should not pick Matthew Wade because they have Venkatesh Iyer already. So if you have two left-handers as open,
Again, the same issue that we were talking about. Nitish Rana can also open. Sunil Narayan can also open. But left.
Rana has opened for 7 to 8 games.
They have, but I still want to. Opening.
But yeah, if they have to pick Wade, they have to ensure that he opens the innings because that is where he is most
He's
suitable.
just wasted.
Yeah, definitely. I feel he gets wasted for Australia
If
also.
you have
when he bats
Russell
at
as
5, 6,
finisher,
6.
then why pick someone else?
Yeah, the way they were going for Tim David, I was like, two finishers.
Russell and David.
Russell and David.
They were so-
Fireworks.
Yeah, message for Robin. Sai Kiran is saying Robin Bhai has a big heart. He should have been part of the auction table. That's true, Sai. Good one. Adhikar, we've answered the Rassi van der Dusen question earlier in our chat. Rupayan is saying Hazelwood and Siraj can be a deadly combination. We've spoken about the RCB bowling. We agree with that.
Also, don't forget
Mumbai Indians, yeah.
RCB Harshal Patel is still there, so they are anyway a deadly bowling combination if Josh Hazelwood is bowling that well.
Okay,
so,
now talk about, we've got a question. Please talk about strategy of Mumbai Indians. What did you think overall from where they were yesterday to where they are now? What have they got?
Well, they've got. I can talk about international stars mostly because I was a little surprised earlier in the day today when they bought Mayank Markande. They already had Murugan Ashwin. Then suddenly you're going
For me, it
second
makes
leg
more
spinner.
sense to have Mayank Markande.
Then Murugan Ashwin. But Mayank Markande hardly played for Rajasthan Royals last season, and then this year also he hasn't done too well for his domestic side. Murugan Ashwin has been a good buy for me in terms of a leg spinner when they're looking at, because Rahul Chahar was gone, Yuzvendra Chahal they did not go for. But apart from that, the buys today I was really excited about. Jofra Archer, first of all, brilliant. Those 8 overs of bowling, Bumrah and Archer from next season will possibly scare the batsmen everywhere. That's one thing. Then they got Tim David, another great buy with the kind of form he has been. You have to give it to them for buying him, even though they shelled out a lot of money. They were saving up for these two, perhaps, mostly. Timil Mills is not a bad buy. Even though he used to go for a lot of runs earlier in the past, his bowling has improved many-fold. He was bowling really well for England. Again,
1.5 CR, I will say
it's
deal.
really good. It's really good, but let's hope he just keeps himself fit, because he also is injury prone. More often than not, he gets injured, and more than Jofra Archer. So players like that, they also got Riley Meredith.
Riley Meredith for 1 CR.
Is another fast.
Answer this question. This is related to Mumbai Indians. Amit Kumar Rai is saying, please take my question. He says, Mumbai always surprises with 1 or 2 new talent every mega auction. Who do you think will be those guys this time? Tell them about Tilak Verma. Is he going to be that guy who comes and surprises? Sanjay Yadav? Are these the guys?
You never know. Yeah. So
Tilak Verma surely.
Tilak Verma can be a big surprise. So Vijay Hazare Trophy, as I was talking about, he's a UP guy. No.
No, you are.
I'm getting confused with Yash Dayal. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Hyderabad boy Tilak Verma. Tilak Verma has scored, as I was saying, 215 runs this year. His
Syed
strike
Mushtaq
rate,
Ali Trophy.
Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. His strike rate, by the way, is around 150.
140 to 150,
150. And if it's close to 150 for somebody who's scoring 215 runs in the middle order, that's exceptional. So he could be a big bet. Like Mumbai has definitely opted for youngsters this time around.
Mumbai has set strategy of nurturing young talent. No. Mumbai also always had a strategy of nurturing young talent, and this year as well we were, and even our family members were getting very impatient that Mumbai is not doing anything. But Mumbai has just said they've planned in advance, and they were really ready when the right players came. They bid for them, and they
Also, they've got another all-rounder, by the way, Daniel Sams. Daniel Sams, not many people know, but he has been a phenomena for the Sydney Thunder. BBL, he, by the way, was part of that Australian T20 World Cup winning side in terms of he was part of the reserves. He did not play a single game, but he was part of the 3 reserves that went with the Australian team. he is still part of the Australian side right now, and he has done really well for Sydney Thunder. He used to bat at 7-8 earlier. Now there are times when they are 2 wickets down and they need.
So they missed out on David, but they still have Daniel Sams, who is a floater.
No, Mumbai have both Daniel Sams and Tim David.
Oh, sorry, I got confused. A long day, sorry.
So
They both, yeah.
that's okay. So
Sorry,
many
sorry,
players. I
sorry.
also got confused between two of them earlier on. So
People are also saying talk about KKR, and one thing that I can really see right now about how Kolkata's team is looking, they've gone for a lot of unknown guys. No, I understand you. I was also getting confused yesterday. I got confused with, I think, the captain of one team and another.
that happens because so many players, so many teams.
Trying to, it's not possible. But I'm just looking at, because people are asking about KKR, and we have a KKR fan sitting here, and he's been on and on about why they've not got an opener. They need an opener. That's another thing. But one thing that I'm noticing about KKR is the fact that they have got a lot of unknown guys, a lot of young guys. So what that tells me, one thing, that they clearly have a good scouting process behind, who are looking at a few young players. They have not gone for any big buy today. Very interesting. So let me just tell you the names that they've got today. Ajinkya Rahane, I think, is probably the biggest name that they've got. That also they got it for 1 CR. Okay, then they've got Anukul Roy, was a great addition, was part of the Mumbai team, the spinner and a great fielder.
Like Rahul mentioned,
he might not
great
play.
fielder.
He might not. That's what I was coming to. He might not play, but every time somebody gets injured, Anukul Roy will be on the field.
Yeah, so Anukul Roy, but he's also a good spinner, so you can use him there. Rasik Dhar is one guy who I was reading somewhere. Rasik Dhar is the guy who got suspended
For his faulty birth certificate,
yes.
back in when he submitted some
faulty birth certificate. So he was suspended. Mumbai, can you believe it? Mumbai Indians took him under their wings.
And
They made him play club cricket there in Bombay, so that he can keep playing local cricket. Sent him to the UAE so he can play cricket there. Used him in the nets. So I thought that they will bid for him, but they did not. So Mumbai did not bid for him. They nurtured him so much. He's gone to KKR, but it's an interesting one. Chamika Karunaratne also, they got a decent price. Baba Inderjeet they've got from Tamil Nadu at a decent price. I think he had a good, or was his brother Aparajit who had a good.
Inderjeet didn't have a good
So it was
season at all.
Inderjeet.
Yeah, Inderjeet had one.
Had a good domestic season.
Rasik belongs to Jammu Kashmir, spotted by
Yes.
Irfan Pathan. He was
Dar.
first spotted by Irfan Pathan.
That's what. And they got him from JNK to Mumbai. That's what I was saying. And so Baba Inderjeet from Tamil Nadu they've got. I thought CSK may have bid for him. They used to be, I think Baba or one of them was part of it.
Aparajit used to be.
Brothers. CSK didn't pick him, but KKR have Abhijit Tomar, Pratham Singh, Ashok Sharma. A lot of them are unknown names even for us who follow cricket 24/7.
I know Chamika Karunaratne.
Yes.
Chamika Karunaratne, we all of us would know. You know. So he's been playing.
Serious hitter.
So he can. By the way, he is another Sri Lankan. This time Sri Lankans, Dashmanta Chamira got picked, Hasaranga got picked, Thikshana got picked by CSK, and now he has also been picked. Asalanka went unsold, but Chamika Karunaratne, by the way, is largely a bowling all-rounder. He bowls those 10 overs in ODIs, bowls of 4 overs for Sri Lanka and T20 internationals also. But lower down the order, when there are 5-6 wickets down, he'll also come to bat. In the series, not this series, last series I don't remember who Sri Lanka played against, but in that series, he scored quite a few runs for them. Against Zimbabwe, he scored quite a few runs for them. Low down the order.
Top order collapse.
Yeah, a lot of times the top
partnership
order
between Shanaka and Karunaratne saved
absolutely. Captain Shanaka, Dasun Shanaka, him and Chamika Karunaratne had quite a few partnerships. If I'm not wrong, some 2-3 partnerships.
I think he rested on maybe.
No, he may not have been one of those players that the team said should come up in the bid.
Franchise might not have been.
Also, for me, even though he's the captain of Sri Lanka, the players that the franchise have picked are better pedigree players in terms of what you get out of them. So for me, Chamika Karunaratne definitely a better pick than Shanaka.
Shanaka is a good hitter. Even today,
he's a good hitter. He scored 100 odd runs in one of those games also.
You were saying top order. Who are your fast bowlers in KKR? Pat Cummins and Shivam Mavi.
Pat Cummins, Shivam Mavi. Yeah. Who else is there?
That's it.
Huh?
I don't know about this. Ashok
Here's the
Sharma
team. You can
and
see the
all.
team. So that's it.
They messed up.
No, so he's disappointed.
Not an out and out fast bowler.
Yeah.
Andre Russell they have, but
Along with Pat
Andre
Cummins.
Russell sometimes doesn't bowl, yeah, if he's injured.
2 overs, just 2 overs.
May not bowl 2 also.
we have
Last time I think he didn't bowl.
But we don't know much about Ashok Sharma, but he's also a pace bowler if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
but see, these can be backup guys. I'm telling you, where are your 3-4 good guys you need, right? Every team. What is KKR doing?
Can you interview the owners of KKR so that I
I
can ask
speak to-
ask
Straight was
No, we know what will happen. You will be like, give it to me, I'll talk to them.
I can ask them a few questions. What they've done. No, seriously, they don't have bowlers. They don't have.
But yeah, if you look at the teams right now, I feel KKR
They
look
lost
weak.
Ferguson.
They look weak.
They lost Ferguson. They didn't even bid for him.
Boss,
Yesterday.
Ferguson did not expect him to go for 10 crores, but
But
Ferguson
they didn't
was a
even
good
bid
pick.
for him. That was the
Ferguson has
surprise.
been he was not good for them in the final last year. That's the only game he gave away runs. Otherwise, he has been an exceptional performer in T20 cricket. He has been really good. He's one of my favorite international bowlers, and I was actually very happy to see
too.
him go for 10 crores yesterday, even though I thought that was a little overpriced.
Little above.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're looking at every team. Lovepreet Singh, Punjab fan.
What is happening? Why, like
Punjab is
why is the
doing
auction not
pretty well.
beginning? I thought
Okay
that
for us, we'll go for a little while more, which means, by the way, we are going close to 9 tonight also. Yeah.
It's okay. Now
Yeah.
we are ready.
So now same like yesterday. So now let's go to Punjab. He's saying please review my team Punjab also. So we have to answer the prayers of every fan. Okay, Punjab has got. Let's look at their top order. They've got Mayank Agarwal there,
Shikhar Dhawan.
Shekhar Diwan. Shikhar Dhawan.
We all have had a long day, so we can excuse
No,
ourselves.
I said it on purpose. Yes.
Okay.
Shikhar Dhawan, Johnny Bairstow.
Johnny Bairstow will bat at number 4.
Yes, they've got.
Three. Yes, 3.
Number 3, number.
So that is their batting.
Where will Liam Livingston?
Raj
Four,
Angad
four.
Baba at number 4-5.
also there.
Baba at 5.
They have got Livingston. So between
Under 20.
They've got Jitesh Sharma.
Bairstow was
They've
sold
got Shah
yesterday or
Rukh Khan.
today?
You forgot about him.
Johnny Bairstow yesterday.
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 Yeah. So they've got.
Smith, Corel, Bra.
So their top order is kind of okay, not bad. Middle order we saw Raj Angad Baba can play there, Livingston can play there.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Shah Rukh Khan,
Betting him.
SRK.
He's the finisher. He is their finisher for sure, and the way he's performed in Tamil Nadu, I was actually surprised to see
Livingston's getting
Punjab not
Jitesh
retaining-
Sharma.
I just said Jitesh Sharma also, but Punjab did not retain Shah Rukh Khan. Then went up to the auctions and लो भैया 9 करोड़ ले लो.
7 crore में retain कर लेते, but they have not.
7 crore क्यों? They would have retained him for 4 crore.
No, he may have asked for more. He would have
Uncapped
known.
player.
Maybe, but he would have been an uncapped player. You never know. He might have said yes also. I'm not sure what went.
But see, that I think.
There was some conversation.
Vaibhav Arora, tell us 2 crores for Vaibhav Arora. He's the boy from Himachal Pradesh.
He's also a bowler, right?
Yes, he's a bowler from Himachal Pradesh. Let me tell you, he was part of the KKR squad, if I'm not
bidding for
mistaken.
him as well today.
Yes, KKR were bidding. So obviously, if KKR had him in their team and are still bidding for him, even though he's not played, I think you see a player in the nets and you know he's good. So that may have been the reason, and that is why Punjab have also bought him for 2 crores. Himachal, so catchment area also, they must want some local guys coming because he's bowled for Himachal. So he's a medium fast bowler, is what I've heard.
I miss Dharamshala as a venue.
Everyone miss.
It's so
So
good.
Sarvesh,
So
Utsav is saying,
beautiful.
can you try to put up playing 11 for Mumbai? I think we'll try to put up.
We'll do that
playing
at the end of the day.
Review. After when it's
Once we know who all are there,
We'll be
then
doing
we
for
can
this,
think about the 11. Rohit Ishan opening for sure. Number 3 Surya Kumar Yadav. So
Interesting. Somebody saying Arjun Tendulkar, if his name has not come, most likely will not now come. Because I don't think, did his name come?
I don't know.
No. So
Unlikely.
He's shortlisted by any team, I think.
So then that means he will not come now. Because I don't think any new names are going to come. The ones that have gone under the hammer, now
He
you
will come
select.
back again.
So that could be the thing. Rishi Dhawan could be a good buy. I think at the price you've got him,
Definitely.
great.
55 lakhs for Rishi Dhawan, if I'm not wrong.
Much talk about for this When
Yeah.
Team
Recent
India
buy,
was
no?
getting selected for this
55
call.
lakhs for
Rishi Dhawan
Dhawan,
was most talked about.
who
when
did
Team
so
India was
well
getting
in
selected
Vijay
for this call.
Hazare in
And
domestic cricket this
even
season.
selectors
They won Vijay Hazare, no?
and even selectors were saying that we have
that's
discussed on the name of Rishi Dhawan as well, but we might have to give him more time. So 55 lakhs for Rishi Dhawan is a great deal.
Also, they say catchment area for Punjab, right? Comes
Yeah.
from Himachal or playing for them. So all of that. Okay. On that note, we're going to take your leave and see you.
Post-auction now.
Post the auction, when we'll try and analyze everything of what each team is looking like. The auction will start very, very shortly. So go and enjoy that. Come up with your questions at the end of it. We will take all of your questions. Just to let you know, names who have been given to the franchises. Auction is about to start, where the names that have been submitted, each franchise was asked 4 or 5 names. Let's see how many they've submitted. Then you'll have a total list of players coming in. And that second round is on. We may have a third round. We'll keep you updated on that front. For the moment, thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today if you haven't already. Bye-bye for now.